Hello everybody, and welcome to episode number 14 of my 0 to 100 mil pay-to-pay flipping series. Finally, at last, I have finally come up with another episode. Sorry it took so long. Again, if you haven't heard, I've been moving and doing all this other stuff. But I won't say it anymore, I just had some real life shit to deal with, but that has been kind of not really dealt with. It's half dealt with. Anyway, it's mostly dealt with. But yeah, we will jump right into it. Okay, so it looks like the black mask actually has a 12k margin on it, which is not too bad. And I'm just kind of guessing the black mask has a 10 quantity limit on it. Total guess, I don't think the limit was in the wiki at all. But whatever, if we find it, we will add it to our own list. But anyway, we'll go buy it for 564k, and we'll go for 10. Okay, so next up will be the Helm of Needs Not, which had about a 1000 or 1500k. Not 1500k, 1500 GP on the margin, which is pretty decent, and I know the limit is 70. I can remember some of these now, and we'll go buy 70 of these. And we haven't included a potion flip on our series in quite a while, so we will go ahead and add it. It had about a 140 or something GP margin on each one, which is still quite nice. That should net us near 300k once we buy and sell them all. And it looks like the Death Rune actually has a 6 GP margin in it, which is pretty good for the price point. So we'll go ahead and buy, I'm not sure if we're going to get 10k of those, but not quite. We'll go for 8k, or maybe a little less, 7k. Alright, we'll come back when these have totally flipped. Okay, we are back, and we were pretty successful this time. The Black Mask have nearly sold and got about 14k in each one, which is pretty decent actually. And we will sell them, all 10 of them, so we got about 144k from that. The Helm of Need Is Not, we got a 1041 GP margin. We got about 65 of them, I believe, and that gives us about 70k-ish. The Death Runes, we got a 7 GP margin on, which is pretty good actually for the type of item it is. And we got 7,000 of those, giving us 50k on the Death Runes. And the Super Energy Potions, we got a 97 GP margin on, and 2,000 of those gives us 194k. It's not too bad. I think we got nearly 500k on that flip. Yeah, so let's continue. So I think we're going to do the Helm of Need Is Not again. Still has over 1,000 GP margin on it, so we'll go ahead and buy another 70 of these. Okay, so it looks like the Dragon Mace actually has a 6k margin on it, which is crazy. Not sure what the volume is on these things, but we'll go ahead and buy, well, we could probably do 70, I guess. Oh boy, I don't even want to talk about this one. I think in total we lost about 290k, almost 300k. And the majority of that being on the Super Energy Potions, apparently, which crashed. And the Dragon Mace, which crashed by like 3 or 4k on each one. So, not so great. We made a little bit of money on the Death Runes, and almost nothing on the Helm of Need Is Not. So, overall, we lost nearly 300k. So that kind of sucks, but let's see if we can get that money back. Okay, so the Uncut Diamond actually has about 150 GP margin on each one, which is decent. It's a pretty fairly frequently traded item, so I would expect it to do pretty decent. And we're going to put a lot of money into this. We'll probably put maybe 2k of them. Yeah, I think we'll do 2k and just see if we can actually flip this entire thing. Okay, you can kind of see there the Adamantite ore has a 64 GP margin on it, which is pretty decent. We've never tried this item before, but I mean, all the ores are traded quite a bit, so it seems like a decent margin for the price. So we'll go ahead and put 1402 in and do 4,000. So this time around we have done substantially better. We started off with the diamond flip, which went pretty decent. We got 46 GP on each. 4,000 diamonds has given us, or sorry, 2,000 diamonds has given us 92k. The adamantite ore, we got 60 on each, and 4,000 of those gives us 240k, so the ores worked actually quite nicely. We also threw a super attack potion flip in there, which wasn't that great. We only got about 37k from that flip. But still not too bad. We pretty much made up the losses from the last flip, so let's see if we can get a little bit more money going. Okay, so we're gonna try the uncut diamonds again, because they actually still have a pretty hefty margin on them. Okay, so next up we're going to do the mithril ore. It has a pretty low margin on it, but I noticed that this was 5 or 6 GP lower than the average price, so we'll go ahead and buy it anyway. And lastly, we'll do some gold ore as well. Again, not the hugest margin on it, but it was 10 to 15 GP lower than the average price, so we'll go ahead and get 5,000 of these as well. Alright, so the flips are in, and we've done pretty decent for ourselves again. To start off, the diamonds, we got a 55 GP margin each, and 2,000 of those gives us 110k. The mithril ore, we got a pretty decent margin on them, just not very many. We only got like just over 1,000 of them, giving us 24k. And the gold ore, we did get all 6,000, but the 7 GP margin will only give us 56k. So not too bad. We're getting down to the wire on our membership, so we might go renew it in the second tier. But yeah, steady progress, not too bad. Okay, I take that back. We'll go ahead and do that in the next episode. But for now, we're going to flip the helmet of Nita's Knot again. Look at that, 2,000 each helmet. That is quite decent. 70 limit will give us 140k ideally. We might not get them all, but best case scenario, we get about 140k, so that's pretty good. And next up, we're going to do the mithril ore again. Again, pretty decent item to do pretty consistently. Always has like at least 7-10 GP margin on it, and we do the buying limits worth of it again. And I think we might actually do the emerald. Now I'm deciding what we should do, the uncut emerald or the cut emerald. But I think we end up going with the cut emerald. Had a slightly better margin on it. Not a huge margin, but again, these are traded quite frequently, so it shouldn't take more than an hour or two. Okay, and the flip is in, and surprisingly we did very good in the emerald. Sometimes it's kind of hard to visualize how much the flip is actually giving you, but I did invest quite a bit of money, like 8 mil into the emeralds. But yeah, we ended up getting a 64 GP margin on them, and nearly 4,000 gave us about 250k. The Helm of Nita's Knot, we got a 1,000 GP margin on them, once again, giving us about 70k. The Death Runes, we got a 6 GP margin on, and 10,000 of those gives us a 60k margin. And the mithril ore, we just broke even on, so not too bad. But in total, we probably got close to 400k, so that's pretty decent. And background there, you might notice we are just going ahead and buy ourselves another bond. But I think that's where we're going to call it for today, guys. So in total, I believe we made just over a mil. We started at about 16.6 mil, and we ended at about 17.7 mil. So decently happy. 1 mil per episode seems to be the standard, unless I get kind of lucky. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in episode 15.